Hey, so I'm actually going to start this video out in my garage, but today I'm going to show you all how to remove the front bumper and headlight assemblies on your 2014 or 2010 to 2014 Mustang, as well as how to reinstall the headlights. So stay tuned. I'll show you all how to do that. So for this job, you'll need a 1/4-inch ratchet, a 7mm socket, a 10mm socket, and an 8mm socket. So first, what you're going to do is you're going to take your 7mm socket, and then there's going to be two 7mm bolts right here underneath the fender well, as well as you will have one right here if you haven't already been in here. But of course, like everything else, I've taken this bumper off several times, and over time I've lost that bolt. But first things first, it's pretty straightforward. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey type deal. So once you get that 7mm socket on there, you'll just kind of, like your usual fashion, just, get it loose, take them out, and then there's going to be two on the passenger side, but I'm only going to show you all the driver's side because it's the same exact process. So once I get this done, I will be right back. So now that you'll have those bolts removed right there, what you're going to do is you're going to come up here. As you can tell, my bumper has been removed and several other times, but what you're going to do is you'll just kind of come up in here, careful not to break the clips, and just give it a little tug, just kind of like that, and then that side is off. It's pretty straightforward. It'll kind of hang down like that. Right, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side, and then I'll show y'all actually the final few steps to remove this bumper. So now that y'all have those bolts removed, actually I lied, you will need a Phillips head screwdriver for this as well. So you'll have these push clips. You'll have 4 of these, so 2 on each side, as well as 2 8mm bolts as well to remove. So 4 total 8mm bolts and 4 of these little push pin type things. So, all right, I'll show you all how to remove each one of those. All right, so for these, I'm gonna use a flathead screwdriver just because I can't find a Phillips head that fits, but just like everything else, gonna be lefty-loosey, so that one's not gonna cooperate for the video, but for the sake of the video, lefty-loosey. If gears haven't been used, they'll, just unscrew normally, and then you can just kind of pull them the rest of the way out like that. So that's how you remove those. So like I said, you'll have 4 8mm bolts. So you'll take your 8mm socket, and just kind of put it on there. Make sure the ratchet's going in the right direction, of course. And just kind of loosen those up. So once I have that done, I will show you all how to remove this bumper. Now once you have all of those bolts removed, oh, and also you will have a cover right here, but those will be held in with push pins as well. If you'll have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. But so once you have the clips undone on both sides, the bumper will somewhat want to fall off, so give me one. So what you'll do is you'll just kind of grab the bumper wherever you feel it is safe, and then just kind of shimmy it off. All right. So once you have the bumper kind of resting like this, you will have, this is your ambient air temp sensor. Just, kind of wiggle that. It'll come out like that. You just have 2 like Christmas tree clips, and you can let that hang. And you can either, trying to hold my phone here. You can either unplug your fog lights. I have LEDs in this car, so for me, it's just easier just to do that. It's just a little 1/4 turn on it. Just undo that. And then you will also have these side marker lights. Just kind of unplug those like so. If you couldn't see how I did it, there is a clip. You just kind of press in and just kind of wiggle it back and forth. All right. Now your front bumper is actually fully detached from the car. you can just kind of slide it out of the way. And then as far as the headlight assembly goes, you'll have this 10mm bolt here, one right here, as well as one right there. And it's the same on this side too. One 10mm there, one right there, as well as one back here. So you'll just remove those 3 bolts, and then I'll show you all how to do that. But again, I'm only going to do it on the driver's side because it is the same exact process. All right, and then I'll show you all how to do that. All right, so just like everything else, you're just going to loosen up these 10mm bolts. They're not very tight at all. Yeah, and then the reason I'm taking mine off is because I have 2 new lens covers, because this one actually broke in the process. But anyway, I'm going to see if I can get you all a good camera angle to where you can see I'm doing it. Right there. You'll have 3 10mm bolts. Sorry, it's kind of hard to do that through the camera. We'll just break them loose. And once you have it about that loose, you can just take them out by hand. These bolts aren't very tight from factory, so. And Ford's nice enough to give you these little like bolt holders too. That's not actually their purpose, but that's interesting. I don't know what that's for. I don't think y'all won't have this on your car. This is actually for an aftermarket lighting kit that I had previously, but it's no longer on the car. Like I said, then you'll have this 10mm here, and then this one as well. So you'll just get those loose, and then I'll show you all how to remove it. Once you have all 3 bolts removed, you can just kind of carefully pull this out. Just like so. Like I said, I have an aftermarket lighting kit on this car, so you'll just kind of pull these tabs like normal. It's kind of hard to do one-handed, so I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, but I'll show you all the gist of it. You'll have the main wiring harness unplugged. On this tab, there's actually a little red locking tab that you'll pull up on like so, and then you can just remove that. Pretty plain and simple. Like I said, I do have a aftermarket wiring kit on this car, so you'll just, if y'all have the Diode Dynamics color changing daytime running lights, you'll just unplug that like normal. But yeah, and then you can just kind of remove it like so, and it's the same exact process on the other side. So once I have it all put back together, I'll show you all how to reinstall the headlight. I did a lot off camera, but you'll just plug in this wiring harness like you normally would, reinstall your fog lights like so on either side. And then as far as your ambient air temp sensor goes, you'll just kind of push that back into place. Kind of difficult to do one-handed, but it'll just kind of pop in like that. And then you'll just kind of, I like to grab the bumper kind of from right here. I just kind of pick it up and set it on the actual like bumper back on. You can go ahead and reinstall your 2 7mm bolts, which I already did. Pop these back on, and just to kind of show y'all, this is my aftermarket light kit, and then your normal HIDs. Yeah, so that's pretty much just how you remove and reinstall the front bumper, as well as remove the headlight. Now, it's the exact same process to install the headlight, which is why I didn't show it. As long as y'all just follow kind of the removal process and just put it all back together the same way you took it apart, you'll be good to go. So yeah, that's just how you do that. Hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Yeah, I just wanted to come on here and personally say thank you for watching to the end of the video. If you don't mind sticking around for just a couple more seconds, you'll quickly learn
how I reminded myself to listen to my own safety tips. But if you don't want to watch, or if you're a little bit sensitive to some of that content, you are now able to click off the video, and that's the end. All right, I hope to see you all in the next one.
So I like to grab the front bumper kind of from right here, just kind of lift straight up, walk it forward, and kind of just set it down on the crash bar. This is difficult to do one-handed, so I'm going to do it off camera just kind of show you all what it's supposed to